We're catching up with NFL Network's Ian Rapoport. Ian, I know you're making your rounds to different training camps around the league. Today, obviously, you're here in Denver. What do you like about this Denver team now that expectations are really at an all-time high with Russell Wilson here?
Yeah, and I think expectations should be where they are. I mean, you make a big trade for Russell Wilson, and basically what that does is put you in the mix. It's not going to win games for you, but if you don't have a quarterback, you are most certainly not going to win games. So, what the Denver Broncos did was they got themselves in the conversation. It's up to them to do it, and I think, having as good a defense as I think these guys will be really, really helps. I mean, the defense is feisty and going to be really good. That will help, but there is a reason the expectations are what they are because they traded for a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and it sounds like he has been as advertised, and he'll play well, and that's great. It sounds like he works in a way that will make others work as well, and all that is really, really helpful.
Kind of going off of that, how good do you think this team can be this year, and do you feel like Russell might have something to prove this season?
Yeah, I think he probably would. I know he wasn't thrilled with what happened last year. I think by the end in Seattle, it was time. I think all sides would probably agree. It was a good time to move on. And it was a good time for him to kind of start his second act. He has a Super Bowl. He's been close. Obviously dealt with the injury last year, which he hadn't hardly been injured, but last year was, I know, a difficult year. I know he's looking forward to getting back to that upper echelon of quarterbacks that he probably should be considered as. And this is, a really good opportunity to get there.
Well, Russell, in this offense, they're continuing to work on mastering Nathaniel Hackett's scheme here. How long do you think it might take them to really gel as an offense?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes them a little bit. The season is long. I mean, we all think about it as short because it's just a couple months, and you see the reaction after week one. Everybody loses their minds, whatever happens. It is a long season. And that's one nice thing about having a defense that I think will be this good, because even if it takes them a little bit to find themselves on offense, that's okay. They will be in games. They'll have an opportunity to win at the end, and I think Russell has showed over the years that at the end of the game, with the game on the line, he is a good person to have the ball in his hands. So I think they're going to be fine, but I could see it taking a little bit to have everyone kind of wrap their hands completely around this offense and scheme.
I know there's been so much talk this offseason about just how good the AFC West is. I feel like there's no doubt that they're probably, the toughest division in the league right now. Do you think it might be the toughest division in NFL history?
I've thought about that. Now the NFC West has had some moments where they were really, really feisty and really good. But, this division is great, and so, you talk about what the expectations are with Russ. Part of the problem is that everyone else has one of these guys. It's like if the Broncos didn't, they had no chance. So now they got one, and they got a chance. But to win this division, to get where they need to be, they got to beat some really good football teams. They got to stop some really good quarterbacks. And they have the talent to do it. I think this is a team that is talented enough. You still have to go out there and do it, and that's a real challenge.
Last one for you, Ian. I heard your segment with James Palmer this morning. Did you end up getting the hotel room right next to the elevator last night here in Denver?
I did not, actually. They upgraded me to a suite.
Even better.
Not actually even better. You would think that'd be better, but it's not. So I had to walk further away from the elevator, which was pretty annoying this morning.
I'm on your side. Hotel room next to the elevator. Good move.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, Ian, really appreciate your time and your insight on the team.
All right. Thanks for having me.